What's good, people? It's your boy, Icarus Gray. And this is Gray Area Anime. And we are back with another one. Because consistency is key.
Or so they say.
That's what I heard. And I'm working on being way more consistent with you guys.
Is that
posting.
you congratulating yourself? Is that what that was?
Sure. So what I wanted to do today, and I kind of just wanted like a surprise thought on it from you, which is why I didn't brief you on the episode topic. Quarantine sucks. Like,
is that what we're talking about today?
Well, no, I just kind of need to say that on the front end.
Got it.
But I was kind of going to do something kind of based around it, like, because here's what I've gained from quarantine. So with having a little bit more time every now and then, I mean, I never stopped working, but I've had more open pockets of, well, we ain't going to do nothing, so I might as well read or watch. So I finally started to, as they know, dive back into everything. And now, like, the sucky part is finding good stuff you like. And being caught up means, and as you've had to deal with recently, you gotta wait.
Yeah.
And
that part sucks.
Quarantine sucks for that. Because
yes, it does.
Like, I caught up on Black Clover, and the anime is just going full on filler right now because the manga needs to get more content for them to put out. And so that has been a bit of a struggle. Like,
you're in a show hole.
Yeah, and it's hard because, like, there are a handful of bingeable animes that you could watch, that you could like rewatch or stick to. Some that have like been running for forever. Like, I don't think I would ever try to watch Detective Conan. I mean, I might, like, if it were everywhere somewhere, I might try it. Ippo didn't run that long, I think, anime wise. I don't think so. What else is like long standing? I mean, there's other long standing stuff like Gintama or whatever, but some of those, like, I'm just not interested in the content of them. They have great fights, at least from what I've seen, like with all these top 10s that people post and stuff. But yeah, like, for the quality that I enjoy, there's a lot lacking, and then there's a lot of mangas that I started that are fledgling, so to speak.
So what do you mean by that? Define fledgling.
Fledgling is under 50 chapters. So
they're still too early to be good? There's
too
still
early,
not enough of them to satisfy you?
They're early on to where there's not enough of them to where they could get an anime.
Okay.
Is more so what I mean in terms of like fledgling. If I'm saying that, it's just like it's still trying to get its footing. It's we're figuring the characters out. Are there cool aspects of that? Are there background stories and things you're kind of building up towards? What is your end goal here?
What are we doing here?
Is kind of thing. Like, and you're in that phase of kind of like between puberty and adulthood, in the sense that it's like, are you gonna be cute or are you not? You know, are the kids gonna think you're popular, or are you gonna be the weird kid who everybody's cool with, kind of, you know, kind of thing? And that's and what I mean by that is, are you gonna be the popular manga that, like, you know, there's no way on God's green earth that it's not going to get an anime adaptation? Or are you weird enough to where it's like,
We could find
you're
a place
holding
for you.
on and you're kind of just like, please don't end because I really like this, but I know they would never animate this. I feel like Chainsaw Man is one of those, but I'm not sure.
What is that? I've heard you say it before. What is that about? Chainsaw Man.
Okay, so it's another one where demons are everywhere.
Is this particular one a chainsaw?
Kind of, but anyway, so basically, there was this guy who I feel like he was like a devil killer or something like that. He was a real poor kid, didn't have like a lot of family, and so he just kind of he wanted base things in terms of needs. So like maybe he wanted to eat a big meal, or he wanted to touch a boob, like simple, simple stuff like that. Like that kind of mindset of like that would bring me joy because I have so little kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so one of the demons that was a little dog named Puchita with a little chainsaw in front of his face. Mm-hmm. The gang or whoever he was working with like made a contract with one of the demons, and of course it goes horror movie left in the sense that it's like, you should never do this.
Yeah, that's nothing.
So it was like a parasite, like it turned them into zombies, took them over or whatever or something like that. Mm-hmm. And in this fight, he ends up kind of getting killed. But essentially Puchita ends up sacrifices himself and becomes his heart. Mm. And so when he becomes his heart, so he won't die, their contract was basically just do the things that you said you were going to do to make you happy. Oh, kind of thing.
So it's kind of endearing in that way.
Sure. I'm just going to like, yeah.
Oh, so no, it's not. It's very
this is also
left.
very anti-hero.
Oh, great.
Like, and I'll get into that. Anti-hero for mangas is typically dark in a sense of like there is not much it's like it's Attack on Titan.
Okay.
It's pretty much that. Like you're never in a moment in Attack on Titan where you feel
so there's not really a redeeming, like you're not like, oh, he's got it, he's gonna win everything,
or you're like, oh, I really like this, oh god, that character's dead,
yeah.
Or oh man, this is normally where they okay,
they're not gonna do that.
Like how they'll normally set up like a character when they come in and it's like, oh yeah, you definitely gonna take the boss out because you've been an imposing person or whatever.
Yeah, the whole time.
No.
That kind of happened, sidebar, in Star Trek Discovery, which I'm watching. Only reason I mention it is because there's this one character literally only alive for 5 minutes. Why? Because he's a douche the whole time. They're telling him, hey man, you're flying too far. Some of you who watch it will know what I'm talking about. You're flying outside of the range. And dude's like, hey man, I got this. And he's apparently not cool with, I don't know if he's not cool with the fact that the woman who was talking to him is a woman, or that he just doesn't like this specific woman. I don't know. But he was like, I'm going to tell you like I told my roommate. I got this. And of course, as soon as he says that, an asteroid blows him up. It's a very hilarious and kind of predictable moment. Like you just know this guy can't survive. And you kind of think he's going to make it a little while longer at least. But no, it's over. And that's been story time with Prima Diva. I'm out of here.
Okay. All right. I'm glad that was very important.
It just connected with me so deeply when you said that. I'm sorry.
Could tell. I'm glad you shared. It was informative if nothing else. So yeah, there's like this they're not very subtle. Like yours is more like I don't know. It's way different from what I'm just
no, I'm sure yours is a lot less it's not nice about it. Like you would expect the jerk to die. You know what I mean? Like you kind of like, oh, well, you're kind of being reckless. It makes sense for you to end up in the place that you're in because you're being reckless and you're being short-sighted. Well, but this doesn't sound like that.
Well, it's more like you expect the more heartfelt story you get, you then expect that person to die. Like, it's not that you don't
They're
expect
really just building you up for the.
Yeah,
for the
it's not that you don't expect the
okey-doke.
jerks and bad people to die, but people that you like are gonna die first. Like, long first. So whenever you finally get the somewhat satisfaction of that character kind of being killed off or whatever, it's
too late.
It
You
can't
already
be
kind of
as gratifying because you're like, well, does it get me back this person?
Yeah, and it doesn't.
And it doesn't.
It's
It
like
just kind of
this isn't even worth it.
they just introduce somebody new or whatever, and it's anyway.
So why do you like that?
Well, with this, I don't know. It's just I just want to see where they're going. Like it's like I said, you just go along for the ride.
Just a glutton for punishment over there, man.
I'm not even gonna bring it up, but it's fine.
You can bring it up. I'm just
No,
saying,
no,
like
it's
I
another
stopped
episode.
my punishment. I said no.
But there's so many like twists and turns. So basically, the whole thing starts with this girl who's over like this demon court because they're searching for the gun devil. And the gun devil can like literally destroy everything, apparently.
Well, I mean, he sounds kind of terrible. It's a gun devil.
Because everything like has a something there. Like there's shark devils and cat devils and blah, blah, blah.
What?
Listen.
Now, see, that one thing is actually kind of funny because I don't think anybody would be surprised that there are cat devils. No offense to you cat lovers out there. I think they're pretty cool. But it's
there's
funny.
a lot of keepers. There's a lot of
I know,
dog
but I
devils
just
as
think it's
well.
funnier
Let's not
that
do
you
that.
mentioned the cat devils first. Hey, you did it. I didn't. Okay.
Well, I'm only doing it because it's a weird. Anyway, so like the bomb devil, like there's a katana, like
Good Lord.
so there's all these different things. Anyway, they're going after the gun devil, and the girl of this organization or whatever that like kind of protects everybody. She's really weird, but like Dingy, who's the main character, like is enamored with her. Will do anything she asks them to do, and she kind of plays on that in a way.
She takes advantage of him? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but initially you don't feel like that.
Oh, so she's going to die.
No.
Really? Is it because she's got that little bit of bad in her that she gets to live a little bit longer?
Do you actually want to know? Or are you gonna
Yes,
make
that's
these guesses?
really why I'm
Okay.
asking.
Well, I didn't know. Sometimes I have to check if you're asking
No,
or
I'm
if
asking
you're
because
just.
I'm really interested.
Okay. No, and it turns out she is the worst person ever.
So, yes. Okay. All right. I'm in.
Like, she's literally just the worst.
Gosh, that's
The absolute worst. And everybody that's not the worst and actually cares about Dingy is dead.
wow.
So, like,
That's nuts.
it's super, like, you get to the point where it's like, man, what? Because you find out that she's the control devil.
Oh, well, that makes
Which
sense.
again, yeah, it ends up making sense, but it's like everybody around him, she set up to die. Like that's how literal
she
terrible
needs
she
to
is.
have control. It does sound like Future
So,
Diaries in that way.
So it's one of those. The other thing that he does as the Chainsaw Man, which is what they call him, Chainsaw Man. Like apparently the devil that's in him is one. Like he would be in hell, and he kills the demons, and like it's not that he just kills you. If he kills you or it kills the demons or whatever, you don't remember anything. That person, he erases you
Your
from
entire existence. That's
like that,
extreme.
so it would be a thing to where like they could kind of go down there and kind of come back, this kind of reincarnation, blah blah blah. They just reform, like in like Hades. Like you don't really kill anybody; they just reform really slowly down in Hades. Just Greek mythology stuff. But anyway, random.
Interesting.
So, like she was trying to get that power, in some kind. It's just like it came out of nowhere. Like it was just like you literally thought it was just gonna be okay. We're going after the gun devil. There's gonna be some hard stuff. There's gonna be some things he learns. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be a little dark, twisted, whatever.
All of this sounds weird.
But there's something at the end of it. But anyway, so it's such a like I said, dark anti-hero kind of thing that it makes me happy that if you go to BibleStudyGirl.com, you can get blog posts every day of the spiritual nature of, your walk, our walk with God kind of thing. I'm also an executive producer over at that podcast. I'm pretty sure it's a different beat and maybe you're into that. So go and check it out. You can check out the blog post. It is currently Give Roses Month, which I am the head contributor for that. So again, go and check out BibleStudyGirl.com, where I guarantee that you will be satisfied if that's the kind of content you're into. Mm-hmm. That's just the kind of stuff that I work. That's who I am. So I want to make sure that I promote that and promote the things that promote us. So go over there to BibleStudyGirl.com today.
What else are you reading?
I started to read Jujutsu Kaisen
because they were taking too long for you. You just getting impatient. Okay.
Because it's so weird. It's another weird one, which is I don't know.
You're just in a weird space these days, huh?
Well, okay. A lot of times I try to see, are you going to evolve into something that I like? Like Black Clover evolved into something that I like, that I'm interested in.
That seems like a gamble, like a serious gamble, though.
Because it started out that they were going so incredibly fast and not giving me enough information. And it was arcs were wrapping up too fast and it just wasn't that enjoyable. But as it got to the point of kind of explaining the elves and explaining all of the different things with the Wizard King and all of these different aspects of who the characters were and why they were, I got more excited because everything culminated to this current arc, which again, a lot of these things, like the current run of everything is always some Oni or demon or something involved. Like the happy ones have gone on break, it seems like.
So essentially, and that makes sense on some level.
Like ReZero don't make me feel like that.
No, because
witches or otherwise.
I feel like it's intended to have a particular joy that comes. You know what I mean? Like there is a certain amount of relief, and even though there's a lot of bad things that happen in the story, you don't get the feeling that this is not going to have a happy ending.
Yeah,
like it may not be a perfect ending, but you still get the feeling that at the end things are going to be right, and whatever that means.
But that's currently where I am with a lot of these things, and that's why I was talking about quarantine being sucky. Is you're caught up with so many different things, and you're wondering, okay, are we going to go left? Or are we going to go right? I started another one yesterday called Build Kings, which is about these two kids who were living on this island, and there's like Kappas and stuff like that. And Kappas are basically what Bowser is.
Yeah. Koopas.
Well.
Koopa Kappas. I got it.
Sure.
I've got to make the association somehow.
I know. It's fine. No, I know. I'm trying to give you room for your moments.
Let me have them.
It's fine. Somebody loves them. They add some spice to it. So they are on this basically this inhabitable place. They end up on this island. They don't know why they're there. They're I don't know how old they are, but they're pretty young. And then what shows up is this carpenter guy. And he's with them and he teaches them some things. And then he says, well, hey, I have to go because there are things in this world that were built by build masters or something like that. Like these elaborate houses that are on the back of turtles and all of these different things, but no one knows who built them. And so he says, hey, I'm going to leave, but you need to be able to build a home for yourself and be able to defeat, I think it's the troll king or something like that, that if he gets out of the constraints that I put him in, you got to beat him or something like that. And someone will come for you in 3 years. So
that sounds kind of interesting.
What they end up doing is you start off with what I presume to be the main gutsy character. He can't build nothing. He's not good.
He just ain't got it.
He builds it starts out with him building this wood home, and the troll comes up and he goes And he's
It
like,
sounded like
you just went foo, as a sound or whatever. And his brother, who he calls his brother, it has a home, and he normally always goes and stays there.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're sitting there, and he's terrible. So all the little villagers, all these little penguin people, and all that, because they're the only humans there. So all these little penguin people and whoever else always ask Ringa, is I can remember his name, to build the stuff for him. And so, long story short, what ends up being, because I don't know if it's a one shot or not, because it was the first chapter, so it was like 66 pages. And you end up in this situation where the Troll King breaks out and he's coming to attack, and you see that what the younger brother, or he's the older brother, and he's smaller, of course, but he's older. I don't know how old he is, but he's like, I pretty much know I'm older than you.
I'm old enough.
And the thing that he builds, he says, I want to build a world of peace. And it was like, I thought that was really cool, because what he builds, or what he's wanting to build, isn't physical. Mm-hmm. It's mental. It's spiritual in a certain sense.
Yeah.
Like, I want to build your dreams kind of thing. And that was cool. And he's just real. Of course, he's stupid strong. And like, it's like, I'm here to do this. And it was really cool thus far to kind of read that. Then another one
what was that one called? One more time.
Build Kings, I think.
Build Kings.
Let me check.
Nice.
Over here on the Shonen Jump app.
Okay.
Shonen Jump sponsor us.
Yes, sponsor us. We'll be in touch.
Yeah, Build King is the name of it. But then another one I was reading is Phantom Seer, which is about exorcists.
Oh, see, I keep thinking you're gonna hit in my lane. I guess the Build Kings is as close to something that I'd be interested in.
Well, currently, there's not a whole lot of new mangas that I'm
Tell me about these exorcists. What are they doing with themselves?
Well, Phantom Seer is about this girl who is basically like a magnet.
Great. And some guy is like, you are perfect. I'm going to get all my money off of you. Is that what happens?
No, well, he really just wants to like be a normal person.
Oh.
But he is really good
at being an exorcist.
At being an exorcist. Him and his sister are like it.
Like
So you can take it like
I was thinking about Blue Exorcist, how the brother sister
Christmas, brother. It's two brothers.
Is it? Then I'm thinking about the wrong one. There's one where they're in high school and it's a brother and sister, and they are blue. They look blue, like their hair is blue, but I don't know what the name of it is.
I don't know. I can't think of it right now.
It's on Crunchyroll.
But, so, it's interesting in this sense to where it's like what you end up finding out about him is that, he, as I lose all the words and not even able to explain this, I'm way more verbose than this, but
you are.
The basic premise of it is she attracts demons, he exercises them, they gonna be friends. She realizes that she wants to be stronger than that, because since she attracts all of these strong Oni and everything, and of course they do use them to fight other things.
Use the demons that they attract, or the Oni they attract.
Yeah. There's no it's not one of there's been a string of those, because I feel like there used to be the thing where they would have the light blessed item or whatever that they would fight people with in a lot of these, like Yu Yu Hakusho. It's not cursed energy with cursed energy. It's just
I feel like the world at that time was
actually no
brighter
but
place.
He's also
he's half demon though, isn't he?
Yeah. So
So
that is a thing. I forgot about that. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
So I've been reading that. I started to read We Never Learn, which I had watched. I watched it with you before. It's about the tutor that tutors the girls or whatever. The one that's like really good at literature. I hadn't really watched it.
And all the girls are like in love with him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He's like oblivious because
that's that kind of person.
And so I've started to read that one. Like I'm literally just on chapter 1, because it's like getting back, that's another hard thing, is knowing that I could have like the best picture quality and video ever if I just went to electricdudestudios.com. If I, sourced all of my directing needs, or maybe I need a wedding shot. Maybe I'm trying to start a YouTube channel. Maybe I want to be in a movie. Maybe I need a great director. Maybe I need lights. Maybe I just want a different view from behind the lens. And if I wanted to do that, I would just go to electricdudestudios.com.
Oh, yes.
And RSVP or whatever it is I need to do, schedule something out, talk about the rates, have a consultation of all the things that could be offered to me in terms of the highest quality of film. Mm-hmm. So it's just one of those things that I think is amazing for you, our listeners, to go and check out, because you too can have premium shot content that is going to blow your mind. And it's only at electricdivastudios.com.
Thank you.
So, yeah, it's like, it's just good. I don't.
You enjoy it very much. The reading. Do you enjoy the reading more than the watching?
50-50. It depends on how good the story is.
Well, I mean specifically, and we never learn. Like, do you like reading that one more than watching? Because I don't know how far the anime is. I don't know if it ended.
That's what I'm saying. I
early.
Don't know.
Okay.
And I got to read because they technically ended it season 2 with him kind of confessing to his
you know what I want to
childhood
find?
friend, but I don't know.
What I would actually like to read that I haven't even looked into to see if reading is possible for me, but I would really like to finish the Asterisk Wars. Or the Asterisk Wars, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, because
I'm not sure.
They only did 2 seasons. They gave you the implication that they were going to go to another fighting tournament, and then it ended. And I was like, wait, this is the one that I really want to see. So that was a huge letdown that it didn't come back. And I don't know what kind of support it was getting. When I was looking at some of the reviews, a lot of people seemed like they liked it, but it just didn't come back for whatever reason. I guess it must not have been as big in Japan.
Well,
but
that's normally like the connecting point.
It was very. Now I will say that it was very predictable, in a sense that it's a fighting anime. Like you know that you're going, like there's a fighting tournament, and you know what's going on. There's gonna be fights, and so I kind of started watching that around the time that you started me having reading Girls of the Wilds. Mm-hmm. So I was in that space where I really wanted to see some girls like with powerful abilities kicking somebody else's butt. I was like, yes. But it's not predictable in a sense that necessarily, I guess, every aspect of the story. It's just like, it's a fighting anime.
Well, it's also a production schedule. By the time we were doing all that, I don't even think Crunchyroll was a thing, and if it was, it wasn't that big. By the time I got you to read Girls of the Wilds.
No, I'm saying I was in the middle of reading Girls of the Wilds. It wasn't at the beginning. I'm saying I was in the middle.
No, what I'm saying is by the time then, because I feel like by the time.
Because I was watching it on Crunchyroll.
I started everything. And it's an older one as far as I know. Because I feel like Asterisk Wars is not.
Maybe it's older than I think, but I know it was about 3 years ago, I think, that I was watching
with a lot of this stuff, you do have to think about, and I'll repeat it, a lot, is just think about the popularity of something. When you go and you're looking for something to watch, something to read, you got to think about 2 different things, the popularity here and the popularity over there. If something is new to Crunchyroll or Netflix or wherever, that's why you check and see if it has a manga. If the manga is, by the time you start watching it, if that manga is at like 100 or 60 or 70 or however many chapters, you might have to prepare for filler. Because while the show is coming out every week, you're getting 18 minutes and you could probably get through 1.5 to 2, 3, 4 chapters in one episode. So you're cutting through a lot of the fat, so to speak. So like I think I don't know. And then you also have to think about like, was the manga still running? Was it a bi-monthly or anything like that? Was it taking longer for it to get content? Did it kind of run its course? Was it?
No, I mean it was confirmed for a third season. I mean Netflix is who they're hoping to get to pick it up, but they just right now it's just like in limbo. No one knows what's going on.
So you have those kind of situations, and you just have a lot of different mitigating factors that you have to consider when deciding what it is you're watching. Did the studio go under? Because a lot of times there are production studios that don't really make it. I remember, when you were first trying to introduce them to Ruby, I think the original author died like in the middle
Monty
of
Ohm, yeah. I think after the
first season or in the middle of the first season or something.
It might have been in the middle of volume 3, like between volume 2 and volume 3, because volume 1 and 2 both came out on Netflix, and that's how I came across Ruby. And then I think he passed either right, like I don't know if it was in the middle of them doing a production for volume 3, but it was early on, and we're at volume 8 now. So, yeah.
But at the time, it felt like, well, I guess this is it.
And someone on Facebook actually told me that I was so heartbroken. Because I was complaining that I was like, oh my God, why is it going to take so long for the next Ruby to come out? I don't know what's going on, and it's driving me nuts. Like, can someone tell me what's happening? And they're like, oh, the creator just recently passed from like a random health issue. And I was like, what? Oh my God. And it's crazy.
But you're going to have things like that. You're going to have the health issues of the main guy because,
and
that's
an American one. Like they make that in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. So it's such a delicate thing, even diving into the things that they dove into with it, because you have to think about the seasons behind things and animation studios and getting those things off the ground, because it's still Rooster Teeth is still grassroots essentially.
I mean, but they're great grassroots.
They're getting a lot of the stuff that they have a lot of income coming from all of the different venues and things that they have going, but it's not a 100,000 person employed company, at least as far as
I would not say that, because they have 3 locations.
Oh, maybe.
So maybe they do, but they are. I still feel like they're not as talked about as like a Netflix yet, but I do think they will be soon.
I feel like a lot of their voice actors and stuff do a lot of the other content
on their network,
and stuff. So, but anyway, I digress in the sense that it's just like that's kind of what I've learned a lot once I started to catch back up with everything is. When you're caught up with everything, you're like caught in a time capsule of like having to wait.
Yeah.
Like being caught up with My Hero Academia is excruciatingly painful now. Because they're at an exciting part.
And you have to actually wait.
And I gotta wait to figure out what's going on. And then I'm like, I think I do prefer reading more just because I can get through more content if it's something that's been around a while that I have to catch up to. Like if that's the thing, like the anime first episode might be like a little teaser or something to me, and then it's like, okay, now I'm finna go dive in and see what this is all about, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, this is cool to watch. To watch it being animated, and I'm really excited that they are animating the webtoons now, because that's not something that I would have thought possible. I would have thought, well, this is as close to the style in terms of their animation that we're going to get, because it's pretty much animated in and of itself.
Yeah.
So that was,
I will say this though. I'm still, every time I go on Webtoons, I'm still, pleasantly surprised to see that it includes so many different types of stories from different parts of the world. It's just with different, like it's such a diverse, group of characters from like with different stories. It's a really beautifully, like it's a beautiful app, honestly.
Because I think that
I love that app.
Because I think that it's just grown from the style. It's an inviting style to not only like, I don't know how many people are on these different teams or whatever, but I find it to be very inviting to the artists that are there.
Yes,
It
seems,
opens you to the story.
Yeah.
You're not as, like, in manga, you can be the focal point can be very tight.
Yes.
So you'll see a fight and you can kind of imagine in your brain, oh, he just went through 2 or 3 houses or whatever, because they're able to draw that motion. Whereas in webtoons, I'm gonna feel it because I'll see it. I'll see the buildings.
And then they have music. It's such an immersive like medium, because some of these episodes, when you open it up, it like the music starts and you're like, wait a minute, am I playing something? No, that's the webtoons, homie. Like, it's
and they've added
very good.
Different moving gifs and things of that nature now
so
to it. So
cool.
it's more of a, like I said, it's a growing medium.
It is.
I do still prefer. Well, I don't prefer, but I really love manga in that way, just because. I mean, I love the way the different drawing styles that can kind of come out, but I think it's kind of cool. I think that I would love to hear about what you guys got going on in your quarantine. Are you caught up with everything? Are you struggling trying to find something to watch?
Do you have suggestions for what we can watch?
Or read or whatever. But make sure you're leaving those down in the comments, engaging with us, and do your thing.
So if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can get at us on Twitter at Gray Area Anime 1. You can also get at us on Instagram and Facebook at Gray Area Anime. And you can email us your questions, comments, or suggestions for us to cover things on the show, or different things you'd like us to watch and review, or any kind of information you want to share with us at grayareaanime@gmail.com.
And we'll see you on the next one. Until then, a 1 and a 2 and peace.